Hey man, say man, it's your boy Ink in the Brain, man. We back at it like a bad habit. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in, and salute to the new subscribers, man. I appreciate y'all. If you like the video, please hit the like button. So I have another episode of my prison experience. If you haven't tuned in to my previous episodes, go ahead and do so. Go ahead and catch up. We're still in reception though. I haven't even hit the joint yet officially. I ain't hit the yard, but technically I am in prison because it's reception. So, yeah, man, if you scared, go to church. You feel me? If you out here doing your thing in the streets, you robbing people, shooting people, you pulling scams, or you doing just dumb shit like I was doing, drinking and driving all the time and going out and partying and speeding throughout the streets. Hey, well, guess what? If you drinking and driving and you hit somebody and get in a car accident, that's aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I didn't know that at the time, but like they said, ignorance of the law is no excuse to break it. So it is what it is. And going through pre-trial when I got indicted and I'm fighting my case and all that, and I'm starting to realize like it's a real possibility that I'm not getting probation and I'm going to the joint, my mindset started to change. I started to become real, I won't say hard, but my mindset started to flip into a more of a like a warrior mentality. Like whatever happens, happens. I ain't tripping. Feel me? If I hit a violent yard or something like that, if I happen to get stabbed, it is what it is. You feel me? If I get punched on, it is what it is. I'll survive it. I've been through, I already been through having my face shattered and neck broke and all jaw broke and all this stuff, right? So I'm like preparing myself. I'm like, shit, it is what it is. I'm gonna rock out and I'm just gonna deal with the consequences of my actions. You feel me? You gotta stand tall, bruh. You can't, it ain't no time to be a sucker when you fighting them charges. You know what I mean? If you're doing some crime that's gonna get you a lot of time in the penitentiary, you need to revisit your current habits. You know what I'm saying? To stay free in society. So I preface this story on that to say this. This isn't to demean M in this story. This isn't to try to cast him like he's a soft or anything like that. But this is a teachable moment for y'all. If you're out here doing something you're not supposed to be doing, you might end up in the penitentiary and things like this will happen, right? So I'm gonna just touch on this situation on how I saw M go from somewhat of, I thought from a solid dude to a straight, I don't want to really call him a negative name, but I'll just say he changed, right? He changed. So when we were first in this cell, he's real talkative and, more of a vibrant kind of energy, I guess you could say, right? But when we went to the big cell, it all changed. So we go to the big cell, and let me say, so just to kind of give y'all the climate in the cell, right? So pretty much every day, we're working out, and we're working out, it's all races really working out, like it was a couple white boys, me, X, J-Fo, even though J-Fo, he wasn't working out at first, but we forced him to work out because he's 310 pounds, and we're telling him like, bro, you need to get your weight, you need to, cut down body weight. So, but we all working out, and then Rhino and Shadow, we all working out. We doing burpees, we doing like 150 burpees, we doing 250 push. We going crazy, right? But M, he wasn't working out. Now in the joint, all Mexicans are forced to work out. So it is what it is. Like if you go to a high yard, you're gonna work out, right? It's mandatory rep, is what they call it, mandatory rep. Even on some 2 yards, it's that way as well. But M, he didn't want to work out. Now I will say this: he was in a relationship with this girl, right? And he was really like worried about his relationship with her. He was like, he used to write her letters, right? And he would let me read the letters, right? Because long story short, they could tell like I wasn't a super square kind of boyfriend kind of guy. Like they could tell, you feel me? Like I'm a player, man. And when we were in the small cell, we sharing stories and things like that. So they getting a grasp of the kind of guy I am versus the same shit that they were on, right? So I'm reading his letters, and I just get this real soft, passive tone, this real scary kind of tone, right? And then I wrote a letter that she wrote him back, and she's saying stuff like, oh, I haven't heard from you in a couple of days. Are you okay, baby? I hope nobody's messing with you in there. And I'm just like, bruh, what kind of energy are you putting off to this girl to where she thinks like she's scared of you? She's already scared of your safety, and you ain't even hit a yard yet. We just in intake. Like, now granted, it does go down to intake, but bruh, and you only had 7 months to do. He had 7 months to do for a DUI because he was on his 3rd DUI. So they gave him 7 months on a DUI yard, mind you, not even a real prison yard. I don't even know if a DUI yard is even a 2-yard. I think it's like a minimum, as low as you can go, right? But yeah, so he like, his whole demeanor starts to change, right? And then as days go on, because when they rolled up the other 2 people and then got X up out of there, they're starting to become like a little bit more bed space, right? So eventually I ended up moving up to where X was at, and then M ended up moving up to where somebody else, I forget who was in that corner, but basically so now he's next to Shadow and Rhino, like basically, right? So I'm on the opposite side of the cell and they are over there, right? So, so I'm just kind of peeping body language and how they're talking to him, because, they're talking to him, right? And that's just, they're Mexicans, so they're going to talk to each other, right? But I can only surmise that Rhino and Shadow was getting in his ear, you know what I'm saying? About what, where, who, why, I don't know, but they was getting in his ear about something. And so his demeanor starts to change, right? Now, there's what's called an H&R form that you can get. An H&R form is something that you can ask, and if you feel sick or you feel like you need to go to the nurse, you can fill it out and put it in the door crack, and then when they do their rounds, they'll take them and give it to the nurse, right? They'll come see you. Man, long story short, he was getting scared. I don't know if it was just the prison stories, a mixture of the prison stories and, Rhino and Shadow, trying to force him to work out, and also, he's not eating at this point. He's like getting his trays and not eating them. So Rhino and Shadow, they start basically taking his food, long story short, right? Not on no, like you would suck up and take your food type shit, but since Manny wasn't eating, they were just like, oh, okay. So when the trays would come, they'd just be like, oh, yeah, and I know, and did I just say his name? Dang. All right, well, I'm just keep going. Yeah. So he's like, I know you don't want that tray, right? You just kind of look at him in a sly way, and then Em would be like, no, you here, and then give it to him, like, yeah, that's what I thought, right? Because like if you said, yeah, I want it, then maybe Rhino would have pushed the issue more, right? So I'm just peeping, like, bro, he not the same dude from last week on the other cell, you know what I mean? He got in here with some real Serenios who really working out, busting down burpees all day, really politicking, you feel me, talking prison stories. Because Rhino, he did a lot of time in California, and he was catching time. He was steady catching time because he was gangbanging. He was, he in there stabbing, poking people up and doing all this crazy shit. Caught an attempted murder charge in there and beat it, some more shit, right? And I'm in there telling I'm like, bro, Rhino, I'm like, bro, you crazy. And he only had to do like 60 more days. He had like a little case, some little violation, I think, and then he was gonna do like 60 days and then be done. But he in there politicking like he still got a lot of time to do, right? So I'm thinking Em just kind of got a grasp of, dang, this is what it's gonna be like, because you gotta run with your people. So he's gonna run with the Mexicans when he get to the yard, just like I'm gonna run with the blacks, just like the white boys run with the whites. So I'm thinking he's computing it now, like, damn, this is what my time's gonna be like, and because I ain't gonna lie, the Mexicans, they politic hard in the joint. You feel me? For the most part, if you black, and you good, your paperwork checks out, you can do what you want. We don't even gotta work out. You feel me? It's not mandatory rec or nothing. You feel me? Now, for California, if you're from Cali, it's mandatory rec, but if you're not from Cali, you can just chill yourself if you want. It's still kind of looked down upon, like you need to go to the yard, but they're not gonna force you to work out though. But the Mexicans do. They push a hard line with that shit in there. So time goes on, and man, and he just couldn't take it, man. He wrote a kite to the CO, basically saying that he was scared and that he wanted to get moved into another cell. But nobody came the first time, right? The second time he wrote one, the door was, I don't remember how the door was cracked, but our cell door got cracked, and he ran over to the CO3's office, which was like to diagonal, maybe midway across the hall. Man, he run over there and slide the sheet under and try to run back, and then the police in the bubble, they catch him. So he run back in the cell, and then Rhino catch him. He's like, what the hell? And then the police come over, and they're like, hey, inmate, what the hell is you doing? What do you want? And they pulled him out the cell, right? And Rhino's like, man, what the hell? And then basically the police, they talk to him, and we like, man, what the hell he do? But Rhino, he starts kind of putting two and two together, like, bro, he pulling some PC shit, right? So they bring him back in, and they're like, when the COs bring him back in, they're like, yeah, roll up their stuff, and we put him in the cell, and then Rhino looks at him like, bro, really, Em? Like, what you just do, bro? Did you really just do that? And then Em was like, he's like, sorry, Rhino. He's like, I'm just not as strong as y'all, man. I can't take this. I'm just not as strong as y'all. He said that out of his words, right? And then Rhino was like, he was like, man, you so lucky the police right here, right now. He was like, otherwise, he's like, I'll max your ass out right now. And then you could just tell, like at that point, M, he was really scary, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. So, I mean, he avoided getting packed out, because I'm pretty sure Rhino and Shadow would have packed him out for that. Because you can't do that. You cannot PC up. Look, y'all, if you think you're safe by writing a note to the COs and saying, hey, I'm scared in here, can you please move me to another cell by myself? They don't give a fuck about that. You know what I mean? They don't care about that. Now, they'll move you out if you're bloody, you feel me, or you show signs of like that you got punched on or something like that, then they probably would. But you just write a kite and say you're scared, they ain't gonna do shit. The COs are not there to protect you. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're scared, go to church, bro. Like I said, if you was in the streets doing crimes that's gonna lend you a lot of time in the penitentiary, then you need to revisit what you was doing on the streets, man. You know what I'm saying? To maintain a liberty society. Because once you get behind them walls, acting scary and acting all soft and all that, bro, it's just gonna make your time a lot harder. Do not check in the PC just because you're scared. Don't do that shit. I'm letting you know right now, you're gonna make your time a lot harder than what it needs to be. Now, mind you, this guy was going to a DUI yard. He didn't have 7 years to do on a high yard. He had 7 funky ass months. And he more concerned about if his girl gonna stay with him or if she's gonna leave or break the lease on the house, then, what he needed to be focused on, which was working out, because he was scrawny. He needed to be focusing on working out, getting his body right, reading some books, maybe studying something to further some skills when he gets back on the streets, you feel what I'm saying? Then be worried about, politicking with people, because that's gonna happen. You're not avoiding the politics in the joint when you get to the joint, bro. So you're gonna have to deal with it. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna leave that right there. Hey, it's your boy Ink in the Brain. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm gonna see you on the next one. Y'all be smooth and be solid.